What is going on, everybody? I hope you are well. It's Friday. We have made it. Woo! Such a good feeling to know that it's Friday. It's beautiful out here in Easley, South Carolina. I am Brandon. As you see, I'm kind of solo at this time. It's okay. Our man Shane is coming. Our man Springs is coming. Hopefully, we have Jeff on shortly. As you see, I have worn the Hawaii jersey in honor of the University of Hawaii. Let's go ahead and get things going. Just want to give a excuse me a quick reminder that we will have on July 2nd our man Kelly Bryant from Clemson University, also Missouri University. They were both he was the quarterback there. We are also possibly going to have we are possibly going to have Abe Gord, July 5th, maybe. July 16th, we have our man Jake Crane from Crane and Company. So excited to get to talk with him. He is such a great person to talk with. I have the utmost respect for him. I enjoy every minute of his show, Crane and Company. This is going to be an exciting time. And also want to give you guys a quick reminder that we are going to be live on location on July the 19th from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. at Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. My man Springs has joined the party. What's going on, Springs?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Just getting used to the shock of the news that we just got today, which I'm sure you'll dabble upon shortly.
Yes. So, Springs hit the nail on the head right there. The Atlanta Hawks have just made one of the biggest trades to date. DeJounte Murray is going to the New Orleans Pelicans. Woo! For Larry Nance, Dyson Daniels, and 2 first-rounders. And from what I've heard from my good friends, Abe Gordon, as I mentioned, and Brandon Leak from 680 The Fan, there is a very real possibility the Hawks are not done yet. They're looking at possibly trading Trae Young, also Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter. They look like they're going to be going to a major rebuild. Springs, what do you think about that? As you took a sip of water.
My apologies. I think it's a good possibility that might be what's going to happen, unless they make a move and bring another star in here. As I recall, a few months ago, Trae Young said he wanted to start winning, whether here in Atlanta or somewhere else. And with this trade, Hawks did not get better, but I could see it being set up for a different move, whether it's bringing another all-star in or shipping Trae Young out. So it's going to be one of the two.
Exactly. It's going to be one of those questions of what is going to happen with the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously seeing DeJounte Murray go, it's sad but understandable because the DeJounte Murray, Trae Young duo didn't really work out. Everything looks pretty on paper when it happens, but then when you come to the reality of it, it's not always what it's cracked up to be.
Exactly.
I mean, what we have seen in the past before with the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, what was it? Sharif Abdul-Rahim, when he came to the Atlanta Hawks, there was a lot of headache, as they say, for the Atlanta Hawks. The Vancouver Grizzlies. Yes, that's how old I am. Is the Vancouver Grizzlies were the face of epitome as being one of the worst teams in the NBA. They relocated to Memphis, and they've become the Memphis Grizzlies, a better team. And then, unfortunately, they struggled because why? Their man, we're not going to mention names on this one because we all know who it is. He is with, issues with guns. I don't know if you saw this, though, Springs, as I'm still waiting on Shane to log on, and I'm hopefully going to hear Jeff shortly. Zach Edey was actually drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. I believe it's the Grizzlies' first time having a true 7-foot plus center since I believe his name was the Big House himself. God, I don't remember his name. That's how long ago the Vancouver Grizzlies were.
Ryan Big Country Reeves.
Big Country. That's right. Big Country. Okay, we just aged ourselves here, folks. Our AARP cards shortly. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, my man Shane is here. Shane, how you been, brother?
Sorry, guys. Man, sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Just went out and tried a new restaurant in town tonight. And, man, I tell you, I only ate the fries because the ribeye sandwich was too big for me to eat there in public. I would have felt embarrassed. So, hey, shout out to Chris Moore, Cabin Creek. Just opened up here in Sherrall. They're doing a great job, man. Crab dip, excellent. Great prices. Cold mugs. So we had a good time, and it just took a little while. As much heat's out here today, I think that's affecting all of us at this time.
Yeah,
that's right. It is. It's pretty toasty. Shane only lives about 2.5 hours from me. I think he lives about 5.5 hours from Springs, maybe 6. I don't know. Yeah, but now I can tell you this. Today it was, I believe, close to 91 here. But as people know, it is the South. We dying and we hot. Hopefully we see our man Jeff. What's up?
96 today.
Woo. Yeah. So as you know, he lives further south than me.
Yeah. Nothing but sand hills, and the sad thing is, we got our first rain yesterday for the first time in 3 weeks. My grass is knee high. It's still green. Everybody else that's cut theirs is brown, dead. Looks like late August around here.
Hey, I know that feeling. Cassie and I were just talking about this earlier today, actually, of look at how sad everybody's grass looks. It looks pretty abysmal, So, guys, as we are hopefully going to, because, I did send a reminder to Jeff. I hope he's going to come. But as we're waiting, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what we were going to talk to Jeff about. One of the things that constantly is mentioned is the issue with NIL and college football, and what can we do to fix it? I've asked this question I don't know how many times, and the answer has always been the same. It's I don't know how we can fix college football. And then you get these stories of maybe we can control it with, incorporating NIL to scholarships, or you can incorporate it to whatever's, But I'm going to ask Shane because, Shane, we've talked about this a lot, and I want you to, I know, like I said, we're still waiting for Jeff to hopefully come on. While we are waiting, can you tell us maybe one thing you think we could do to fix college football?
Man, I can tell you, like I mentioned in the past on other episodes, how we go into a tier system with the conferences and everything. We could do the same thing with scholarship money tied to NIL money. Once you reach a certain percentage, you're agreed to a certain percentage of NIL funds. With a lot of schools now, and the way it's become, a greater knowledge of college football, college recruiting across the board. You have these collectives as what they're called. So these schools are creating these to distribute NIL money kind of fairly throughout, the players across all platforms of their sports, men's and women's. So I think if you went to like a tier system, like I said, so, you've got an 80% athletic scholarship to come there, or a full ride, then you're guaranteed this much percentage of the collective money. But then, that doesn't take away from the actual athlete and what they are worth, because they could still go out and make money on their name, image, and likeness by doing other promotional things. But you're still putting money back into a collective that can be fairly distributed across all forms of sports, men's and women's. And I think that's going to be the best way to kind of figure it out. And you see a lot of teams, NIL transfer portal. We're getting all entangled in this mess, but they just need to step away. They're two different things. And of course, transfer portal, if you have greater NIL money, you're gonna generate more buzz around your program for the transfer portal. But it's not one and the same, in my opinion.
And I agree 100%. NIL, it's gotten out of control. It's ballooned to bigger than it should be. Players have these expectations when they play in sports. Sorry, as my dog just ran down the stairs like a bunny rabbit. You see like differences between big schools and little schools. There's a school down the road from me. It's about 25, 30 minutes away, Furman University. Their NIL collective is extremely small. Then you go look at places like Clemson, look at places like Georgia Tech, look at places like University of Georgia, South Carolina University. They all have bigger NIL collectives. Springs, what do you think we could do to fix college football? I mean, obviously, it could be a year and a day kind of thing to fix, but what do you think we could do to fix?
I'll be honest with you, man. I think it's too far gone, man, to fix. To be honest with you, it's been so many things that's been done to college sports in general. I mean, for one, and I mentioned this a couple of episodes when I was back on, the conferences are all jacked up now. You don't know who's in what conference. Like I said, there used to be the Big East. There used to be, things like that. I think that started the downfall for it. But getting back on track with the NIL thing, I think Shane actually had a pretty darn good idea, man, as far as the tiers go, and the percentages of the NIL going to the tiers of different players. But I just think it's beyond fixing, man. I just don't think we'll ever see a day again where it's actually fixed. I know that there are some things, or I heard some things about maybe some schools leaving and starting their own conference. Maybe doing that will fix things.
I've heard that too. Everybody knows I work at a radio station here in Greenville, South Carolina, and we have had that conversation about two conferences leaving to make their own, and then even the group of five merging with another Power 5 conference, in the Big 12, formulating their own conference. So it really got you thinking, is this what you want with college football? Are you okay with what you got with football? I don't think we're done. I think, we're going to have more conference realignment. I talked with a good friend of mine recently, Brian Kajiyama, who lives in the state of Hawaii. I believe he's watching. If he is, awesome. I will tell you this. Him and I have talked about the potential of Mountain West Conference schools merging with the Big 12. We've even heard from Ryan Leaf himself, which is not the most reliable source in the world. He said he believes that the Pac-12 is going to be reformed. How, though, he has no idea. He believes that maybe you will see the Mountain West Conference merge with the Pac-2. Everybody knows the Pac-2 is Washington State and Oregon State. Obviously, it's a lot to be discussed. It's a lot of what ifs, wonderings, that kind of stuff. Who knows what's going to happen? I for one, I'm in favor of the smaller schools getting that opportunity. Look at Tulane did the last couple of years. They beat USC in a New Year's Six Bowl. They came that close to going to another New Year's Six Bowl. Liberty took that bid away. Of course, we all know what happened to Liberty. Liberty was demolished by Oregon. I don't know what to think as far as, do we see like small schools merge to big conferences? I don't know. Shane has alluded to this several times too, with regards to certain schools joining. Syracuse. Yes, they're in a big conference, but they're a small school. They don't necessarily generate the revenue that the conferences like the Big 10, the Big 12, or SEC would do. Shane, what do you see realistically out of the ACC? What school or schools do you see maybe going to the AAC, the All-American Conference, the Big 12, the Big 10, or the SEC?
Oh man, I can tell you. You look at the FCS schools, I guess you can call them now. North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Jackrabbits. They are doing great at that level. And hey, it brings it back to my tier system where you're talking. Hey, the lower two teams in one conference or one tier go down to the lower tier, and the top two move up. So that way you have a constant change in guard, and you constantly keep these schools competitive, competing for the next level at that point. We look at it now, Liberty, Coastal, App State, all these good college football programs that could have competed with good college football programs in the past few years, that they were denied that opportunity to a bowl game to play a better known team just because of conference affiliations. But if we do, like I say, hey, it could make it very interesting. But as of now, the marketing and everything, it's all a business, folks. It's all a business. So college football is one of the greatest profitable businesses that you could ever be in, because we are nuts about it. Y'all are nuts about it. Everybody is. And they don't have to do anything but pay tuition for these kids. That's all they've got to do.
That is right. That's all they got to do.
They are paying pennies while we pay the dollars.
That's right. Springs, do you see a small school merge into a big conference like or even the AAC? I don't really call the AAC a big conference, but like the AAC, ACC, or the Big 12, Big 10, or SEC.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I just can't. I don't see it right now. There's not a school that jumps off the paper at me. That'll be like, yeah, we can hang with the big boys. Because you'll have schools that maybe have a good year or two, but after that, it's a fall off, man. Because they can't consistently get the recruits to hang with the big boys, so to speak. So I honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see a small school going to a more powerful conference like an SEC and just doing any kind of damage.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I understand that 100%. What are, as like I said, we're still waiting on Jeff. I'm actually sending an email to him now to get him on. What do you guys think about this whole situation going on with Clemson and Florida State? Everybody knows the grant of rights deal is ironclad solid with the ACC, or so we think. Clemson and FSU have said they have a way to get out of the ACC and not have to pay the exit fee. Now, for those who don't know, the exit fee, I believe, is in excess of $140 million, and the ACC still gets to keep the TV rights for a few years after those schools have left. What do you think? Yeah, that's not that number 5 has been sticking in my mind too. Shane, do you think Clemson and FSU have found a way to get out of the grant of rights?
And I can tell you, if it were, say, Miami and Virginia Tech, then we'd be, in a little bit different of a situation. But, Clemson, Florida State have been flagship programs of the ACC since they kind of started. So, once they came about in prevalence, I mean, it's no coincidence that they are some of the top schools that we talk about every year when it comes to college football. They are the top prop of the ACC, and until people consistently can knock them off of that, then that's what it is. But with the lawsuit that they have right now, it can open up multiple things for conference realignments and everything like that. But in my opinion, if you're looking at it, I think that they're pushing the ACC to realign and do more than what they're actually doing, than really trying to go after a lawsuit and get out of the ACC in general.
I understand 100%. Yeah, so we're going to look at the three of us here for a second, and then I'm going to go to Springs. I'm a Mountain West Conference guy, University of Hawaii. Shane is a Virginia Tech guy, ACC. Springs, Georgia Tech guy, he's an ACC. So naturally, there, you don't want to hear the term all cupcakes conference. That's what has been labeled with the ACC for quite a while, and we have seen that consistently. Heck, we can look back at last year with what Miami and Georgia Tech did together. How many people do you raise your hands if you remember the boneheaded play Miami did? They were just take a knee. All you had to do was take a knee, and you won the game. And what do? They try to get pretty. They fumble the ball. Georgia Tech goes down. They score the game-winning touchdown.
Oh, it was magical.
That's right, because
I see you smiling down there.
Yeah, that was a highlight for Springs this past year. We see a lot of controversy that goes on with conference realignment. It's just a given. I asked my good friend Dan Scott, who is the voice of Furman Athletics. I asked him because Furman. I don't know if you guys know this. Furman is very good at football, but they're very good also at getting big name players. Does everybody remember Devin Hester? Please say you do.
Yes.
His son plays for Furman.
Only going into the Hall of Fame, right? Or nominated
right.
in the class, right?
That's right.
I mean,
so
most special teams touchdowns ever, and we've had some great ones throughout the years. I mean, if anybody remembers, he was the greatest. He's the greatest coming since Deontay Hall.
That's a big name right there. So,
yeah,
Devin Hester's son plays at Furman. He committed to Furman. That's a big recruit for Clay Hendricks. Clay Hendricks is a phenomenal coach. He's a great person. I've had the privilege to talk with him. I haven't met him in person. I've had the privilege to talk with him up here when we on the radio station. He's your most mellow person you'll ever talk to. He's firm, but he's not hard as a coach. And I'm a hard coach. I've always been a hard coach. Matt, you know that I'm a hard coach. I'm hard on what I do, but I'm thorough with what I do. We've heard Vince tell everybody in the world here, I'm a hard coach, but I'm a good coach because I know how players can be better. That's the name of the game, is to make them better. Obviously, our man JD is not here. He is at a function tonight with his kids. Hopefully he gets to come on. I don't know if he will, but I've seen the videos. So Shane will tell you, JD has sent us a video of his kids at the event, and oh my goodness, I thought we had a lot of kids at our VBS. Oh my goodness. If you guys were to go watch like the video of him, you'd be like, whoa, that's a lot of kids.
Hey.
So
the Lord is great. Lord is great.
That's right. Amen to that, and so I want to switch up to another topic here because again, this means a lot to me. I'm going to show you guys the picture. Okay. I know it doesn't mean as much to y'all, but it really does mean a lot to me. And the reason why is because of this thing right here. It's the University of Hawaii national televised schedule. This is extremely exciting. Y'all, I don't know if you know this, but Hawaii is one of, if not the hardest schools to schedule on TV. You're maybe lucky one or two at best to be on TV, but not this year. This year we have six nationally televised games, one of which I'm extremely shocked in seeing is Sam Houston State. They're playing September 14th. Yes, it's on ESPN Plus, but it still is a nationally televised game. This is one of the best things that can happen for a small school like Hawaii. Hawaii, they're battling left and right to get the money for their programs. Everybody knows who the face of the Mountain West Conference is, right? Who is it, Matt?
I don't know who's the face of them. Who's going to be the face this year of Mountain West Conference?
But it's always been Boise State. Boise State. Yep. They owned the WAC and they have owned the Mountain West Conference. Now that Chris Peterson has been long gone, that whole system is gone. you're not seeing them as successful, right? So then you have a school that's come along and got some people thinking, and they were good a long time ago. Everybody remembers Fresno State. Fresno State was one of the best schools to compete with. And then this past year, yep, that's right. And I was just about to say they're very well known because they have one, actually I think two, but one potential Hall of Fame quarterback right now, Derek Carr. Everybody knows who his brother was, David Carr. Unfortunately, David Carr spent majority of the time on his backside than his front side playing the game because he had no O-line. Houston, they did have a problem. They still have a problem with their O-line. They've had an O-line issue since they were the Houston Oilers.
Expansion team.
That's right.
That's
what it is. That is right. That's what it is. It's an expansion franchise. It's nice to see smaller schools getting big time dollars. Matt, you're familiar with Georgia Tech not getting a lot of nationally televised games. People have said this plenty of times too, that Georgia Tech, as long as they had Big Brother underneath them, with University of Georgia, it's never going to be, hey, let's go to Atlanta to watch a Georgia Tech football game. It may have been that way back in the past, but nowadays it's who would you rather see? You want to see University of Georgia. You don't want to see Georgia Tech. Do you think, Matt, that Georgia Tech could, now with how everything is now, obviously with Alabama being what Alabama is now, do you think Georgia Tech could be a better ACC championship team?
It really depends. First, I need to see better players, man. Better players. And I need to see us recruit just a little bit better. Now, granted, I understand the standard of Georgia Tech, and we all know the academics part of it, of what you have to have and things of that nature. And that's always going to be a problem to get all of the 5-star athletes. Because, I mean, if you want to be real about it, they're right smack dab in the heart of Atlanta. There should be no problem getting 5-star athletes. Shouldn't be a problem at all. But like I said, due to the high academic, standard, it makes it kind of difficult. So I think as long as they have that high academic standard, I don't think we will see championship football for Tech. Now, getting into a good bowl game, that's something different. I can see that, but sneaking into the college football playoff, man, that's going to be tough for us.
Exactly, and like I've said, you only need a chance. That's all you need is one chance. And small schools, they get there. I mean, look at Tulane did. Tulane, for people to know, Tulane is actually in New Orleans, Louisiana. They're actually in the heart of New Orleans, Louisiana. They have to compete with Louisiana State. Everybody knows who Louisiana State is. LSU. You have to compete with LSU. You have to compete with University of New Orleans. They're a great baseball program there. One of the best, I believe. And everybody knows baseball teams, they tend to have better football teams. Now, New Orleans plays, I believe they're FCS or NAI. I can't remember which one they are. They're a smaller conference. So they're not going to obviously get the notoriety that they should. So, I like where this is going with talks about the possibility of small schools. Shane, small schools really well. What small school do you think has the potential to, now we're not talking about FCS, we're talking about FBS. There's 138 schools in FBS level right now. There's going to be more coming. What small school do you think has the potential to be good next year, to be the Cinderella?
Well, I'm be like Charlotte. I'm gonna put everything that we've kind of talked about. If we put it all in a web together, it's probably gonna make some sense. You talk about success on the football field. We're not just talking about that. We're talking about success overall in multiple platforms. That's going to be one of the biggest ways that you accelerate these programs and stuff like that. So you look at, and I mean, like said, you tie in the baseball with it. Football and baseball go hand in hand. If you have success on those two sides of the ball, or two sports on the sides of the school year, I guess you could say. I say sides of the ball, just being offense, defense kind of guy. But you do that, and you're looking at programs who have been in years. You look at Coastal.
There's some technical difficulties, Shane.
Right there down the road. Ruff and O'Neill, they had a great program, and now they've been a good over the past couple of years. You look at other schools. App State's always been great in football, not necessarily on the baseball side. They do a little bit on the basketball. They kind of make some noise, but it ties back into your American. Those schools that I mentioned are all in the AAC. Memphis, which hey, they've been there. They've been at the top in the football and the basketball. So it just takes consistency across a couple of sports to be considered. I mean, you look at Miami with their football program until they sustained success on the football and baseball diamond, then they weren't considered for anything. Virginia Tech, same way, when they were in the Big East, with Miami, they never really had anything. And then the basketball team kind of started coming around. Baseball team was mediocre, but then at Virginia Tech, the women's sports, the women's soccer team started coming around. So that started getting them in consideration for the bigger conferences. So for the smaller schools to gain success, to gain a path into bigger conferences, you have to have sustained success across multiple different levels and multiple different sports, whether it be men's or women's.
Absolutely. I sustained success. Say that 3 times fast, right? It's true. You do need to have it. You need to have sustained success, not only in just one program, not just only in 2, but pretty much all your programs. And this is going to be a funny question. I'm going to actually ask Matt on this too, and then I'm going to get Shane to answer on it. Mm-hmm. Have you guys noticed the higher intellectually advanced schools, i.e. Harvard, i.e. Yale, i.e. Georgia Tech, and then Vanderbilt, they don't have sustained success on the football field? It's really interesting. But then, you go look at what Harvard and Yale do. They do great in basketball. It is year in and year out. Those 2 schools, and them and Princeton as well, those 3 battle to go to the NCAA tournament every year. Georgia Tech, they've not been successful in football. They're mediocre since Paul. What was the guy? He was Paul something at Georgia Tech.
Paul Hewitt.
You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Ever since then, they've been mediocre in basketball. And then let's look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, they kill it in baseball. They're dominating in baseball, and yet they can't do anything in football. They can't do anything in basketball. It's really weird.
They've had a couple runs in basketball. They've had a couple runs.
Right, and that's why I'm trying to tie this to is, why do you think, I'm going to go Springs, why do you think smarter schools struggle at every level other than like 1 or 2 sports?
Because you said it yourself, smarter schools. These kids are smart. They're not going to sit there and get hit by a 300-pound lineman. They would rather go for a while and play up against teams that don't play defense. That's pretty much what it is, man. No, I mean, like I said, it goes back to recruiting, man. Honestly, it's tough to recruit. It's tough to get the number 1, number 2 defensive lineman in the country to commit to Harvard. That's tough to do.
Yes, it is.
They're going to want to go to a school like UGA. They're going to want to go to a school, and maybe like a Miami. Or they want to go to a school because they want to be on TV. They want to go to the NFL. Every kid that plays college football, his goal is to get into the NFL. So, and they're not going to do that by playing football at Harvard. That's not just going to happen. So,
Well, there is some NFL players who did play in Harvard.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The Falcons drafted one of them before. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
well, Obi Mahaley, not
Yes,
Obi, but
yes. No,
it's something. Oh yeah, Fitzpatrick. Yep,
yeah,
Fitzmagic. Sorry.
It happens here and there. I mean, it happens here and there. But for the most part, that you're talking about like 1%, if that. So I mean, typically the guys that are good at football, they're going to go to a Power 5 conference school. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Same thing with basketball. Basketball is a little bit, since Steph Curry did something for the smaller schools, you see a guy in basketball here and there at a smaller school. But for the most part, man, it's just going to be the majors because these kids are trying to get to the next level and support and feed their families.
That's right. And Shane, you've alluded to this too with small schools, and do you are you in the same boat that Springs is with regards to smarter schools not having better teams?
I think the smarter schools not having better teams. We're mentioning Harvard, Princeton, Yale. We're talking about major, schools that are accredited for multiple different aspects. We always talk about across the pond over there in England, Oxford University. These schools were around at the same times that they were. So we look at those schools as a higher prestige, but then also these schools don't need to bring in the recruits and stuff like that, because I can tell you, if I ever tried to go to Harvard, I mean, you're talking about $400,000 just for your first 4 years. They get the money for what they have. I mean, that you look at them, they're accredited, oldest school, oldest campus, everything else like that. Those buildings ain't changed other than what they've renovated them to. They're still charging more and more every year. They don't have to get the money from the sports revenue or anything like that. So they can afford to be down in these smaller conferences. You don't hear about them trying to reach up. The Ivy League stays the Ivy League. They don't
very true.
Don't reach out to try to become anything greater than what they know they are. They're the oldest institutions in this country and the most prestigious institutions in this country. And they're charging out the yin-yang to go there in the first place.
That's true. And I don't know if you remember. So JD and I talked about this recently too, and I think we did mention it with you. The top 10 most expensive universities list was just released, I believe, about 6 months ago, actually. And number one on that list, Vanderbilt, $98,000 per semester.
Ooh.
To go to that school. Yeah, it is an arm and a leg. And then here's the crazy one for you, Springs. University of South Carolina was number 4, and they're at $68,000. It's an astronomical number.
JD's.
Are we encompassing? Are we encompassing all the doctorate programs and everything else like that? Because
I think that's what they're including too.
That's what it sounds like to me. Because Vandy Law, master's degree. I mean, you might as well throw it out the window. You better be. You better be rolling it in if you're going to try that just on your own.
Oh,
but
yeah.
If you encompass all those, but if you take that out, that's why he's able to be more successful than the other schools on the field, because those are master's programs. That is what they have been, kind of touted for. Their law program, stuff like that. So that's their master's program. So technically, the school does not have to, focus more on the master's program. They're worried about these bachelor degrees. So that's why they're able to put a little bit more money on the field than say, the smaller schools in the Ivy League.
That's right. It's really interesting. And then, I've told you guys this before, and I'm going to tell everybody that's watching us, which, by the way, stream, get involved. We want to have you interact with us. I know there's not a lot of you watching tonight. It is Friday night. I understand completely. We want you guys to chime in. And I know it's just a week before 4th of July. Hey, we have some good stuff coming for you on 4th of July too. So let's look at it this way too. I'm a girl dad. I'm about to have 4 girls. Yes, folks, I just said 4 girls. I have Addison, who
Soon.
is 6 going on 16. I have Eastland, who is 4 going on 16. And there's a reason why I said it in a second. Then I got Holden, who is 3 going on 16. And then we got Aspen, who should be here the next few weeks. I'm excited about that. Now, the reason why I say all 3 are going on 16 is because they are in the sassy stage. Addison is in the sassy 6 age, where she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips the way she walks. Shane has seen it. Unfortunately, Springs has not yet. He will be coming. Guys, I want to also let you know, Springs is coming up for the July 19th live on location. So he will get to interact with you guys. He will get to meet all the fans. And he will even get to see Addison's little sassy walk. And when I mean she has a sassy walk, she's got a sassy walk.
Meet me in person, and I might even have a surprise for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey.
All right.
I didn't. That's not on me. I'm telling you. Shane
right.
is. So I'm gonna tell you, my guys. Everybody should know this. Shane is my right hand man. He, he is host of, Saturday Shorts with Shane-O and with JD. JD is our South Carolina fanatic. He is our social media man. He knows his sports, and we are so wait. Jody Goodwin said, "Better get them girls in wrestling. My Addie is already raising eyebrows. 6th in the state last year, first year. Speaking on educational monies." Oh, hey.
I was there. Jody is one of my best friends from here. He is a great family man, full of faith, family, and fun. So his daughter, she's 7th grade coming up. Finished 6th in the state, first year wrestling. She came up, man. She surprised me. She's of course got my heart because in softball she catches, So hey, I'm kind of sucking for that.
That's good. That probably just got catch.
Hey, I can attest to the growth in not only women's basketball, like we've talked about in the past, but youth development in women's sports has grown dramatically, and I'm excited.
Absolutely.
So that's one good thing. So, man, shout out to them. Shout out to Addison for doing what she's doing.
With regards to softball, Addison, my Addison, has, I had the basketball jeans. I got it from my mother. Now, y'all, Shane, you haven't met my mom yet, but you will soon. Springs has. My mother is 6'1". She's a very tall lady.
Yes.
She can actually shoot half-court shots and make it. Shout out to Baker High School in Mobile, Alabama. That's where my mom went. Great education system down there in Alabama because, I've mentioned this before. My family is like 2% University of South Alabama, which is literally 8 to 10 minutes away from my Aunt Serena and Uncle David's house. And then you got, this is really weird. Majority of my family is like 44% is Auburn. Weird. And the rest is University of Alabama. I don't know why they're Auburn fans because it's such a big disparity between the two. But shout out to Alabama. It's interesting how things go like that. So my mom is a good basketball gene. I got the gene. Addison's getting a gene. However, her mama, who is sitting right next to me, the lovely Cassie, as you guys have all gotten the chance to
don't
see.
Get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble.
This is a kids show, folks. So Cassie was a softball girl her entire life. And so Cassie and I had a conversation with Addison, and we asked her, do you want to play softball? Because she had done t-ball for 2 years, too slow for her, not really interested in her. It's okay for little kids, not her. She's not a little kid, y'all. She's the tallest in her class at 6 years old. She's got my height for sure. So
she's tall.
Yep. So Addison took immediately to softball. She has done a fantastic job at it. And she went to softball camp as well this summer. We're going to try and get her set up for fall softball. The sky is absolutely the limits with our athletic genes here. And the reason why I bring all this up is Athletes in general, you either have it or you don't have it. And there are people who try, but they don't have it. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And, we talk about Vanderbilt. We talk about Harvard and that kind of stuff. And you guys hit the nail on the head. We're not going to sit there and say, I want to go to University of Princeton, or I want to go to Harvard, or I want to go to Yale, or I want to go to Vanderbilt to play, for the WNBA or play for the NBA or play in the NFL. You don't see that kind of like, oh my goodness moments. But what do you see at UGA? The first thing you see is, how much money are you going to give me to play? Because I know I can play in the NFL. How much money are you going to give me? Because I know I can play in the NBA. You see those with big schools. So it really is interesting to see those kinds of things. I love the interaction. I love the development that you do see with smaller schools. I'm going to agree with you on this one, Mark Ryan. You're allowed to have two schools, your favorite and your second favorite, a big school and a little school. A lot of people don't believe you should have two schools. No, why would you have two schools? Blah, blah, blah. No. I have two schools. Technically three. I had to support Cassie's family because her family is Clemson family. But my team, everybody knows, is this team right here. And shout out to Bryant Moniz, by the way. He's a good buddy of mine. He is still doing big things over in the state of Hawaii. So shout out to him. I believe Springs. Hey, you met him before, Springs.
Yeah.
So my second school, though, is Furman. And I'm going to tell you guys one reason why I'm a big fan of them. What is their number one slogan? Shane, you have to know this one.
Go Dens.
Nope. F you one time. F you two times. F you three times. F you all the time. That is the best chant you could ever say in sports. And y'all, I'm not saying the bad word. That's literally what they celebrate is F you.
No, I got one for you. Virginia Tech, first and goal or anything in goal. The band starts getting the drums ready. It's stick it in, stick it in, stick it in.
Oh my word!
Stick it in, stick it in, stick it in.
As we have children present.
Oh my word! I'm done.
Hey, score a touchdown.
That's right. So let's go to some little programming news that's gone on, guys. I think this is the dumbest pick I've ever seen in basketball. It was stupid. I've seen better talent.
Talk about it tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna give mine since I'm not on your show with you tomorrow. It's you and JD.
Oh yeah, no. But we'll talk about it in depth tomorrow. Y'all check us out. But hey, Brandon,
yes, Saturday shorts. Saturday Sports Shorts with Shane O and JD. Check them out tomorrow, guys. There was one guy that came on here, and he's a buddy of Shane's. Tried to give JD a little hard time about saying JD doesn't give material. No, I'm sorry. JD gives great material. Shane gives great material. The Sportz Nutz, we give great material. So let's go ahead and what am I talking about with regards to the dumbest pick I have ever seen? LeBron James Jr. was selected by the Lakers at the 55th pick. Guys, I got a head scratcher here. I don't know if you saw the reports, but basketball operations manager of the Lakers started calling every team saying, don't pick Bronny James. We are picking him. And the way we found out about this, they called ESPN and told them they were going to be picking him. And then you go and you look at, they have the war room cameras or whatever, and you see them being excited that they've gotten the best pick in the world at number 55. It's LeBron James' son. No. You had Isaac Jones, one of the best centers. That was a sleeper deal. Should have taken him. Shane, I'm going to ask you for a quickie on this one. What are your thoughts on Bronny James? A 4.8 points per game, 1.2 rebounds per game, a 0.6 assists per game, a 29.5% field goal percentage rate per game.
What do you think? I'm going to give you just one little hot take because we're going to cover it. We're gonna do a little something, and then we're gonna go a little bit further than that tomorrow. So, I'm gonna say this. This is what surprised me the most. That was the most excitement I've ever seen out of a NBA draft in the past 5 years. That is the most excitement I've seen somebody get over a 55th overall pick in the NBA draft. But yet, hey, look, you got LeBron James and his son for the 55th pick in the NBA draft. That's what I'm looking at.
It is the first father-son duo to play in basketball. That's never been done. That is exciting. Springs, tell me what your thoughts are on LeBron James having his son drafted, and why were they so? It's like they thought they won the lottery getting number 55 pick LeBron James.
Well, I will say this. Just harp on it. The Warriors OG, I can't remember his name right now. I'm having a brain fart. But he broke the news that teams were the Lakers were calling other teams dating back to the end of the first round. Now this goes back to the end of the first round. Pick 20s, picking the late 20s. Teams were wanting to pick Bronny. So I don't look at it as a form of nepotism because teams were actually going to draft him. As far as his college numbers go, teams don't draft on college numbers anymore. The first two picks in the draft didn't even average 10 points a game. They both played in France, both only averaged like 9 points a game for Richesay and Alex Sarr. They don't draft on stats anymore. And then Bronny James' case, I give him the benefit of the doubt because he was a 5-star. He was a McDonald's All-American. People forget he died before the season started. He died and had to be resuscitated.
Yep.
So with that being said, he was out of basketball for 2 months, lost weight. I played a lot of basketball growing up. When you stop playing ball for like a couple of weeks, you start losing your timing a little bit.
Yes.
He was out for 2 months, lost weight. So of course he was gonna have a bad season. There's no way anybody can have a good season. You almost die. You're out of playing ball for like 2 or 3 months, and you're just thrusted into the college game. Of course he was gonna have a terrible season. But what happened was he tested near the top of everything in the combine. Shooting, defensive drills, the athletic drills, 40-inch vertical leap. I mean, he tested high in everything. So he was going to get drafted regardless. So that's why I don't think I can't look at it as any kind of form of nepotism because he was going to get drafted. But what they did do, they did, affect the narrative of it. They did call teams and tell them, hey, don't draft them so they can pick him at 55. So, but I think Bronny's going to be a solid player in the NBA. Just give him time. He'll be solid, athletic, 6'1" point guard that plays defense and can shoot. Every team needs that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Shane, what do you think?
Well, hey, I'm with you on this, but I look at it at a different perspective, the business perspective. Who's going to be his manager? Rich Paul. I mean, you look at this. LeBron James, biggest name in the NBA right now. His son coming to play on the same team with him. If you can't market this, then you just need to hang up and seriously, go back, maybe be a fry cook at McDonald's or something, because if you can't figure this one out, then you're short. I mean, I don't care what you say, but that's my biggest thing. Hey, there were so many opportunities, and I'm with you on Springs. Other teams were talking about drafting them, which we're going to get in depth to tomorrow on that, because I think that some other teams, especially with the pick right before them, could have said, we got you.
And there was a little talk on that on the Jim Rome show. So, definitely check out what they're. So I want to give my little take on this, and then we're going to go to another story on this one that Springs and I actually have a good relationship knowing who this person we're going to talk about is. So I don't agree with Bronny James being selected. I needed to see more. Now, yes, I've been through what Bronny James went through almost to the T, except I didn't have cardiac arrest. I came close to it. Absolutely came close to it. As you guys see, I have the lovely battle wound from open heart surgery. I had a widowmaker heart attack July 8th, coming up on my anniversary, actually. So I'm going to give this to you right now, quick. I don't agree with him being selected. I think maybe he should have waited a year, and then we'd be okay. And then I'd be okay saying Atlanta, you could take Brian James. I understand the amount of pressure he was on. Guess who's joining us, folks? Jay Dizzle is in the hizzle. Maybe.
Jay Dizzle, the Whizzle.
Maybe.
Possibly. Maybe.
Nope, we'll come back. All right, we'll come back. He's trying to load it. He's frozen.
Right, Wi-Fi fix. Steve and Linda. Get the Wi-Fi fix.
So I'm going to tell you this, and then we'll go to the next one. Like I said, he should have waited 1 year. Just waited 1 year, and it'd have been fine. I know who his daddy is. I understand completely. It's his daddy. Do I think he's going to be good? No. I think he'll be average. The player that I'm about to talk to you about, his daddy was good, but he is as good as his dad too. And that, folks, is Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know if you guys remember. I think I know. Springs knows who Tim Hardaway was, right?
Of course.
One of the best 3-point shooters.
I remember.
One of the best 3-point shooters to ever play the game. Y'all,
a true
this
PG, a true point guard.
That's right. His son played for the Atlanta Hawks. Was a fan favorite. One of the fan favorites. Jay Dizzle. Are you in the hizzle?
Man, I think so. I don't know
I
don't know if I got a good internet connection. I had a little trouble there for a moment.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
We got you, my man.
Look who's here. Look right there. It's my man, the myth, JD. JD, tell everybody how you been,
Dizzle.
Hey, I'm good. My earbud's trying to fall out my ear. Let me tell you what's not trying to fall out my ear. All this bull crap y'all trying to tell me about the Lakers and LeBron James not having anything to do with none of this, man. I'm telling you. Look, there goes the earbud.
Hey, wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow, buddy. I love the passion. Wait till tomorrow. We got a whole show tomorrow about this.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm happy to be here again. We had a vacation Bible school. I got to see my kids jump around, man, dancing to some good music, jumping on the inflatables, playing on the dunk tank. We've had a well of an evening, but, man, they were worn out. They were crying. They were tired. So, I'm just able to jump in real quick. Nenny and Papaw watching them for just a minute. But, they tired, bro. They worn out.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, JD, we were just talking about this. Tim Hardaway Jr. Everybody knows who his daddy is, Tim Hardaway, one of, if not the greatest point guard. And I'm going to say greatest because I think he's even better than Steph Curry, because I don't think Steph Curry now could handle Tim Hardaway when he played, senior when he played, kind of thing. Because, basketball has changed in the game. So, Tim Hardaway played for the Atlanta Hawks, still is a fan favorite in Atlanta. When he played, I just said, it's the key word there, played, when he played for the Mavericks, he came to Atlanta, he was still cheered on. People still have I believe I still have Tim Hardaway Jr.'s jersey when he played for the Atlanta Hawks. He was traded today to the lonely Detroit Pistons. And, JD and mine's buddy, Mark Ryan, has already said something about it, that he is both worried and excited for the Detroit Pistons franchise. Understandably, the Detroit Pistons, they like G League players. And we see year in and year out, they're in the top 5 lottery picks. They even had the worst record. Should have had the most odds, the highest odds to get a wonderful number 1 pick, and it falls to the Atlanta Hawks. So, it's sad that, Tim Hardaway Jr. is traded to the lonely Pistons. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. could have done great things still for Dallas had they kept him a little longer. Springs, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go to JD after that, and then I'm going to go to Shane to finish that one up. What do you think about Tim Hardaway Jr. playing for the Detroit Lonely Pistons?
I'll be honest. I don't think he's going to play for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they shop him. There's a total youth movement going on, and Detroit. And unless he's there to be the veteran, I don't see it. You got Cade Cunningham, they got Ivy, they got the twin that they drafted last year, and then they have the Ron Holland who they just drafted. Those wings and positions are set, and I don't see him getting any kind of PT. So I can see them moving on from him, including him in the trade, maybe to get the second-round draft pick. But I just don't see him playing for them.
It's sad. JD, what are your thoughts on Tim Hardaway Jr. being traded to the Lonely Pistons? And do you think, Spring said it, do you think he plays?
Like he said, they might even look to shop him further. I mean, teams do that from time to time, look to acquire a player just to further trade him elsewhere. Man, the Pistons missed an opportunity, though, with the number 5 pick. Even like you just mentioned, Mark Ryan, he wanted it to be Dalton Connect at number 5. He fell all the way down to 17. So, man, are the Detroit Pistons, though, are they replacing the old school, like Cleveland Browns and even the Detroit Lions from just, like, how they continue to make terrible decision after terrible decision? And so now, like, the Lions became good. So now you just got the Pistons, though, that are obviously making all these bad decisions.
Actually, Red Wings make bad decisions.
Right. Yeah. Hey, the Red Wings too. Golly, being a Detroit, it's hard enough being a Panther fan, a Gamecock fan on my behalf. I can't imagine going through things like Detroit and Cleveland went through.
JD, you're right. Shane, what do you think? Do you agree that maybe we're going to see Tim Hardaway Jr. get, shopped around, or is he really going to play for the worst team in basketball?
Well, I could see him being shopped around, definitely. But in my opinion, this could end up being – Detroit has assembled a lot of young talent, and if they get the right person around and can assemble this young talent and gel them together, it could be something special. And then adding a piece like Tim Hardaway, like I'm gonna go. Maybe not everybody's favorite opinion, but I'm gonna go away from Spring JD. I'm gonna say you're bringing him in. If everything goes great and these pieces gel, look at Tim Hardaway Jr. being the next Andre Iguodala of the league.
Oh,
being a great
Iggy sighting, folks,
and create that kind of culture of the championship mentality, because he was on that Dallas team that was great, and they had all the pieces, but they did what
they were milk carton.
Bed.
They were milk cartons. They were missing. Yep, that's right.
So that's what I say. But you bring him in that situation where he's a 6-man, kind of, he's great defensively, either shooting guard or point guard wise, because he's got the length. So you bring that in, and I think you've got the formula to create with the young talent that you got. You just got to put all the pieces there together. And Hardaway Jr. is young enough where you can keep him there and create that throughout.
Okay, I agree, and it's nice to think that he could help build the team. Hopefully, he does. Guys, before we go any further, we do need to give a shout out. JD, I wish you'd been here tonight, man. It was some of the best food we'd ever had. We're gonna give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Tequila's Grill in Easley. Y'all, if you are looking for authentic, affordable, delicious Mexican cuisine, Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina is your place. From JD and Shane's favorite, the homemade salsa bar, the cheese dip, the chimichangas, the taco salad, the fajitas, you name it. It is the best. Tequila has it all. Stop on by today to get a taste. Yes, happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off all drinks. Stop by today, get a taste of the best Mexican cuisine in town. They're located at 5155 Calhoun Memorial Highway in Easley, South Carolina. Give them a call today. Reserve parties. They are looking forward to seeing you. Our man Narcisito Narcito. I know I'm saying his name wrong.
Nascito.
But yes. So give them a call. 864-307-8028. Tequila's Grilling Easily. And just guys, remember, you see these 4 beautiful faces right here in front of you. We're going to be there July 19th from 7:30 to 9 p.m. We're going to be doing our live broadcast. We're going to be doing a drawing. We got a lot more things coming up. Check them out. Tequila's Grilling Easily. So, and again, JD, I'm sorry you missed out on the lovely dinner night. The girls actually asked about you. They're like, when is Mr. JD and Mr. Shane going to come join us? So you guys, you made an impact on my babes, you know?
July the 19th.
Yep. July
Yeah.
the
Be up
19th,
there July the
we'll
19th.
see. And I got to get back training Addison on a little bit of softball. I got
Yep.
Trip, he actually was trying to dunk a guy a minute ago in the dunk booth, man. He got mad. He was like, man, I just wanted to dunk him. And we got to work further on Tripp's throwing skills. But man, hey, he was slinging the ball a little bit. He was slinging it a little bit. Hey, there's a couple of girls.
We'll get them right.
There was a couple of chicks up here though. 9, 10 years old softball players. They were slinging the ball.
They were slinging it.
Yeah, they were throwing it, man.
Julie Ray. One of Julian watches us religiously.
They're just getting better and better the younger they get these days, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. We actually had this conversation. I texted you guys this. This was the next thing I was going to talk about. There is a player, and I'm really like excited and kind of giddy to talk about this player, guys. It is phenomenal to see something like this. There is a player. I didn't see where he was looking. I know he's in the South. His name is Dexter McLennan Jr. He's 16 years old. He plays on a 16 and under team. So y'all listen to these stats, okay? He finished the season with 2 losses in pitching. His ERA was 0.25, which I can't wrap my head around that. He hit 39 runs, 39 for a 16-year-old. And here's the RBIs that you guys are gonna go holy moly, boy. 112 RBIs for his season. His batting average was 458. He has got big schools like Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia. He has pretty much got 50 colleges looking at this particular kid. Now, here's the thing that I really, really liked, because, JD and I have talked about this with regards to, do players even go to college? Can they just go on and do whatever they want to do? Well, his mother and his father said, no, you're not allowed to play pro until you finish school. And I say to the parents, I love you. God bless you on that one, because you never know what could happen. You have some of the best talent in the world. It takes one injury. I'm going to attest to it with my knee. It takes one injury to ruin your whole career. It happens. So I'm giving mom and dad an applause on that one, that you're making sure your child, when he goes to school, he goes his entire term at school just in case he gets hurt. What do you guys think about that? Those stats, though, for a 16-year-old kid. Come on.
How many games did he play?
It didn't say. I tried to look it up. It didn't say how many he played. But, I mean, 39 home runs for a 16-year-old.
Well, yeah, it also makes a difference because like in my opinion, like if you're looking at somebody 16 and putting on these stats, like you look at a lot of schools in the state of South Carolina. I know a lot of us are based here. Like they allow certain charter schools and academic magnet schools to be into the public conferences and everything else like that. So like we look at the AA scale of things. You have grade collegiate and all the other collegiate schools that are able to recruit basically, and they're supposedly charged a certain fee per student to be in whatever division they are in. But if it's kind of the same situation, you're looking at like a charter school in a single A situation where these other schools don't have but 30 kids to look from. in JV varsity, and we might even be talking about football in that sense. So it's kind of unfair, in my opinion, not knowing where he's from and what kind of division and everything else based on his stats. But I mean, the game evolves. We see it evolve every day now. So, high school teams are looking into, kind of video, recruiting and everything else. But then they're also looking at an advantage. Like, I talked to a baseball coach, that I played for, Mr. Steven Sellers. He looks into, videotaping games and actually studying film, which we'd never heard of back in my day, on the baseball diamond. It was show up and put up. That was kind of what we were about. But now with technology, everything the way it is, it's been great to see the development of the game at the lower levels. But I'm kind of interested to see a little bit more on him and how those stats got to be there.
Swanee, Georgia. He is located in Swanee, Georgia.
Right.
Oh,
All right.
What do you think, JD?
So to Shane's point, real quick, yeah, when we were in high school, we didn't have scouting reports on the other team. As we know, they do that in the colleges and the major leagues, all that stuff. Now, there was never any like scouting report. We didn't know what this hitter was bad at hitting. We didn't know what this hitter was good at hitting. Like he said, it was just kind of put up, shut up. To Spring's point, how many games did he play? My guess is those records were all tied in. So now we're coming down to all-star time. I just told Brandon and them earlier, all three like 16 and under teams from my hometown, Clinton, South Carolina, they're going to play in the state tournaments this weekend, like their all-star tournament thing. So I think that at this point they probably lumped his high school stats and his summer league stats together, which is where that 39 home run probably came from. So he probably hit 24 in one league and hit 15 in another, something like that would be my guess. And then to the initial question, like Brandon proposed, kudos to his parents. These days, parents are looking to capitalize on their kids' career. We see it in NIL every day. We see it with parents. They've gotten mad at their kids for committing to one school when they're sitting there wearing the gear of another. They might be just doing that to make a viral video. But, I mean, some of that probably isn't the case. I mean, the mom might have been promised, $100,000 from one school, and the kid said, I'm going to a different one. So, yeah, kudos to the parents for saying, hey, go get an education. But then, yeah, we still will have the NIL battle with that particular player, because if there's that many people salivating after him and he's looking to be a first-round pick, money's going to be paid, period, point blank.
30 games. He played 30 games this year. They have
So
those kind of stats.
1.25 home runs per game.
This kid is unbelievable to see this kind of thing. Now, obviously, he is attending Buford High School, it says. Buford High School, if you guys, Springs knows, Buford High School is a perennial powerhouse in the metro Atlanta area.
There? Who went there?
Oh, God, quite a few people, actually.
College quarterback recently.
Hi.
I'm trying to think. I know that there's several NFL quarterbacks that have come. No, Deshaun came from No, he came from Gainesville High School.
Okay,
Deshaun Watson was at Gainesville. And I actually had the privilege of covering Deshaun Watson. That was pretty cool to see him play in high school. I know Buford. So we're gonna go a little on this one. When I coached at Avondale High School, we had to play against Buford High School, and I hated playing them because Buford, for the longest time, would never lose. Matt can tell you that too. They never would lose. They would blow everybody out. Heck, the first year they played us at Avondale, the score at halftime was 56-3. That's how dominant they were of a team. So Buford High School's baseball program, year in and year out, goes to the state tournament. They go to the regional tournament, they go to the state tournament, and they almost always win. Well, now that regions have been absorbed and dissolved, they're no longer like 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A, and 9A. No, there's the max it goes to is 7 quad A. It stops. And the difference from
we had 4.
Yep.
We had 4 in
Matt,
South Carolina, and we had a Sweet
Springs
16.
will tell you. Springs will tell you it was one of the it's one of the most like electrifying like regions of 7 quad A. So it's a lot of fun. So with regards to that one, I know Springs has to jump off very short. So we're gonna obviously kind of get a little faster on this one because we're also running close on time. But I want to tell you this though, that this is something that to keep an eye on, because when he goes to play for Beaufort High School's baseball team, you're going to see what he is really made of, because 16 and under versus high school is completely different. There are 2 different entities right there.
Hey, I got one for you. JD mentioned it earlier. Clinton, South Carolina. They have 3 baseball teams in the state championships. But let me take away. Look at these beautiful people over here.
I gotta give a shout out, ladies and gentlemen. The person that you see right here, Miss Heidi Harris herself. Such a gem to work with. I love Heidi Harris. She fills in for 98.9 WRD, the station I work for. So let me tell you guys, when we see Heidi, she is a gem. I love her. Please go and follow her on Twitter, Heidi Harris Show. Anything and everything. Look for her. She is great. JD has heard her. He loves her. Hey, Heidi. So happy to see you. Anyways, continue, Shane.
Hey, no. Hey, I got interrupted. JD, come back, man. There were a bunch of people on there that we all love to see. They wanted to shout out. I know a couple of them saw Uncle Poops with the Sportz Nutz hat on. So, JD, where they at? They still out there with you?
Oh no, man! They was crying. No.
Oh man. Well, hey, I hope you send them a love. I know we've run a little long, man, but man, hey, we've had some good topics tonight, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sorry again. I don't know what's going on.
Late. Yeah, get JD on late, but man, Springs carried through the technical difficulties. Hey man, hey, right. I love that, man. I can't wait to actually meet you in person on the 19th.
Yeah, I can show you guys how high I can jump.
Hey, so with that being said, as we're coming to the end of the show, Springs will be here July 19th. That weekend, he's staying at the lovely Keeler household. Cannot wait to have him here. Hopefully, we are able to maybe check out a drive game. We'll see. Guys, I know we had high hopes. I'm sorry.
Birthday party.
Hey, that's gonna be ready.
Let's get it. Saturday. Hey, live.
Let's
maybe
get it.
All 4 location. Maybe not live there, but maybe just a little bit early on our Saturday shorts, because we'll have everybody there.
Yeah.
Amen to that, guys. I've enjoyed every time I get to do these stuff with my friends, with all of our family out there, the Mixed Nuts family. We love you guys more than you will ever know. So much fun talking to you. We had some great topics. We talked about NIL. How do we fix college football? The small school world. We talked about, LeBron James Jr. being drafted, which make sure, guys, check out my man. I'm going to point right here. Wait, right there. There's JD. Check him out. Check out Uncle Poops. Oops. Uncle Poops right here to me. Check them out tomorrow night. It is Saturday Sports Shorts with Shane O and JD. They got some good stuff you want to talk, guys. I promise you're going to love to hear the takes. And Jeffrey, I know you tried to give some blah, blah, blah stuff about JD not having good content. No, sorry. I'm calling a technical foul on that one. You're out of the game. JD gives not good, great talent. He gets great content. You name it. This man has got it. JD is our. Go ahead.
Either way, we enjoyed the feedback. Just pay
yes.
attention and listen to it all. Just pay attention, listen to it all before you come to a conclusion. Hey, your opinion is my opinion. My opinion is my opinion.
Everybody's.
Your opinion. hey, opinions are like other things. Everybody's got one, and it's normally
And they all
different.
stink. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, JD is our social media director. He knows how to get in touch with you guys. He always has good content. Check him out. JD, where do people check you out, sir?
You can find me on X or Twitter, whichever you want to call it. Hey, one thing too, Amy Lawrence, she does the night show on CBS, and she started calling it Twix. Bro, can we please stop doing that? Every time she says Twix to me at 5:50 in the morning, like that, it just hits with me the complete
Left or
wrong
right?
way. Right,
Left
yeah,
or right?
I mean,
Left or right?
Left.
yeah.
I'm a left side.
Yeah, it's just weird to me. But anyways, yeah, you can find me
Well, then you ain't right.
at JD Wyatt 06 on X. You can find me JD Wyatt on Facebook. Listen, yeah, I'm just listen to the whole content, because literally everything I said yesterday was the exact same thing that Jim Rome said on his show today. And no, I'm not saying he copied me, but I'm saying I had a strong take. The Bronny pick was not for the Lakers to win more basketball games. The Dalton Connect pick was. And so, yeah, we'll get more into that tomorrow. Again, I only gave you a little taste. Hey, I got plenty more. Y'all come ask me the questions, and I'll answer them any day, any week, anytime. Be blessed, not stressed. I'm going to go take care of these kids. All love, and I'm out.
Hey, exactly. Follow him. So, Shane, where does everybody follow you, sir?
Well, as always, you can find me Shane Owen on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, X, like JD was talking about. Poop Sports, brand new. Hey, thankful for the 130 followers in just a short time. I want to see the Sportz Nutz grow just as big as I have in this short amount of time. So that's our end goal. We're trying to get there. As always, you can interact on Snapchat, Shane O'Mac 1240. You find me on Instagram, s.owen1240. We're always looking for our mixed nuts, everybody's input into what they want to hear, and we're ready for it. Just interact, be there, or be square, because you're not around.
Exactly. Hey, Springs, where can they find you at, my friend?
You can find me. I am new on X or Twitter. You can find me at Matty D. Thomas. Find me there. Like I said, I'm new on Twitter, new on X. Still navigating my way around there. Not new to social media, just new to that platform. But yeah, you can find me on at Matty D. Thomas. And I just want to say, JD, you kind of do favorite Jim Rome a little bit. I just want to point that out there, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll take the tan skin. And so, yeah, he went on this whole little Bronny thing to open, and people literally were commenting about his plaid shirt on the platform. So, I mean, hey, yeah, if anybody wants to comment about my shirt to, get some conversation stirred up, too, I mean, you don't even have to agree or listen to my sport take. Just come judge what I'm wearing or what I look like. I mean, I got a little gray in
I
the
think I
beard.
might have a good one.
Wait.
Hey,
I got you guys beat on the gray.
I went Hawaiian last week, though, Shane. I don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry Jeff didn't come on. I'm actually kind of disappointed, but it's okay. We had great content. We had great editing.
These azalea flowers, my boy.
It still looks Hawaiian. I don't know what it is, it still looks Hawaiian.
Hey, but again, JD, I got to show it.
I'm super mad. I didn't get to watch any Hawaii 5-0 today, y'all. My Friday has just been blasted.
JD, you say you got a little grays? I got you numbered.
Oh, yeah.
I got the grays, buddy.
Most of mine's covered up by hairspray up here.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Hey,
all right, so.
We went to church, so I mean, I'm not wearing my normal hat.
Hey, so anyways, you can find me at Keeler Brandon on Twitter. Follow us on at the Sportz Nutz on Facebook, on Twitter, Twix, X, whatever you want to call it today. I really don't care.
No,
just
Twix.
find us.
Never.
So also look at our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is at the Sportz Nutz 176. Also, our website, nuttysportstalk.com, which you can find some good content there too. Hey, we even have an Instagram page, Nutty Sports Talk. Check us out there. I post some pretty good content there once in a while. I would highly recommend you check it out. You will like it. Guys, with that being said, for our man, Shane, what do you tell the people again?
Hey, man, as always, peace, love, and bacon grease. Much love. We'll see y'all soon.
That's right. Peace, love, and bacon grease. For our man, Shane Owen, who is over there. For my man, JD Dizzle, or whatever Izzle he wants to be to Dizzle. My man, Springs. I'm Brandon. And I tell you this like always, but peace up, A-Town down. We love you. We're going to see you. Good night. Show's over. Bye. We love you.
French fries taste good in bacon grease.
We're out.